everybody, welcome back to another episode here on the Bedrock server. And today, as you can see, I have dug out this massive hole underneath our base here. You can see just up there at the top of the screen, which is where our melon and pumpkin farm is that we've set up before. And we have dug this all the way out to level 5, so we are now all the way down at Bedrock Edition. Now, this isn't all that I've done. I've got some plans for down here for today's episode, which we will get to in just a second. But what I want to show you is we actually went and threw a gold farm down here. So as you can see, that is behind me now. So we're just going to run through this because I've changed a few things compared to the first gold farm we built over at spawn. Now this one is a little bit different of a design with how the zombie pigmen get collected up together, and all in all it just works a lot better. So we'll get to showing you this right now. So again, I've gone for 7 portals here because anything more than that is going to cause problems for console people, and there's quite a few of them on the server, so this just keeps the server running good for everyone. And to be honest, you don't really need more than 7. It's a little bit overkill. So we got the same sort of setup here, so as we do at spawn 1. So this sort of lights it. This little system here puts it out as soon as it gets lit. And obviously our collection tray is a lot different, so now they're all in one big water system, which will then push them down into here, into a trident killer. And the other thing I've done a little bit different, if I can get out of here really quick. I'm gonna need a block of some sort, aren't I? So the other thing I've done around here is I've separated the redstone. So I've still got the same sort of dropper clock to keep up with all of the item drops. They go up and into a storage room, which is all sorted out, and with a trash can at the end. But we'll show you that in just a minute. So we've got our collection system on a separate lever here. We've got one lever to turn all the portals on, and we've also got one lever for the trident killer. And I feel like separating them out works a lot better. I've also just thrown in this little sugarcane farm. It's completely automatic and lossless. We built this before. And we've built this before, so it's not something I wanted to do on camera again. You know, we want to do some different stuff, and we've got some plans today to build another sort of farm down here, as we've got lots of space to work with. So we'll get to that in just a minute, and I'll show you what our sort of plans are for down here. So this is our sugarcane farm. You know, it works kind of well. It's just another one. We've got so many of these sugarcane farms dotted around the server. But having a gold farm here, we're going to be AFK in here a lot, repairing our tools and stuff, and obviously with our other farms that are going to be going down here. So it just made sense to just stick one of these in the corner. I might even extend this a little bit and have multiple of them just to get more sugarcane. But this is just going to passively give us sugarcane when we're in the area, which is very handy to have. So before I go in and show you this gold farm in action, I've put a little lift here to the top. So it just makes it a bit easier, so not everyone on the server has wings. And yeah, this just makes it so that if anyone goes down, they can get back up easily and safely. Now, the other thing I have done off camera is I've actually fitted us with a front door. So if we push the button, the concrete falls down and the door will open. Now, as you can see, this block here sometimes gets removed, so it's not the most reliable door. but that doesn't really bother me. I've got some spare concrete here that we can just patch up the floor with, and if you push the button again, it all goes up nice and fine, and it's just a nice little touch. So I'm not too bothered if that corner breaks every now and again. I think that's just due to lag, sort of like server lag and stuff, so it's probably not much we can do to help that. So obviously we've got our little thing here to go down to our pumpkin and melon farm, and also our cactus farm tucked in there. But we need a proper way down, right, for people that don't have wings, or maybe we don't have wings because we've died for whatever reason. So we need a proper way down as well. So I've also installed a little drop chute here, which is a little bit sketchy, but you can fall straight down here, and hi there, you can land straight into our gold farm. So this is this sort of AFK area where you'll get all your XP. So we've got the trident killer on and off, portals on and off, that will turn all of these bad boys on up there. And this one is our item collection. So if we click this, you can hear all the droppers fire below, but nothing else will turn on. So it just keeps everything separated, which is actually quite easy to do. So I might do a tutorial on this gold farm as well, if you guys want to know how to build this yourself. And yeah, it's fairly simple, so I think I can throw a tutorial together for you for that, if that's something you guys want to see. So down here we've got an actual enchantment area. So our first one in the base, and I'm really happy with it. You can get to level 30 with this. And obviously we got a bunch of anvils because they're always helpful. And as you can see, it is raking in the gold. I think all the way up to here it's full. So it's you know, it's getting a lot of gold. And I've also kept one for rotten flesh as well, because we have got the clerics upstairs, so we can trade some rotten flesh with them. So that'll just make it a little bit easier. I've got a crafting table there and a crafting table here, so we can craft up all our ingots and all our gold, and that would just make life a lot easier. And I will quickly show you how we are sorting them items. So fairly straightforward item filter here. So they get shot out the 4 droppers at the bottom down there, go down this stream and up this bubble elevator. From this bubble elevator they come round the corner. Now we need to do this because we need to align the items against these honey blocks. So if we just went straight across like this, none of our items would actually get picked up by the hoppers, and they'd all end up in the lava. So this part is very important for our collection system. So we do need to align the items, and this was the easiest way. And then we've just got our sort of standard item filters here. Fairly straightforward, and yeah, it's working very well. I'm very happy with it, and everything seems to be collected fast enough, which is good news. Now I've also started mocking up a little bit of a design here and a colour scheme for this area. I've got some plans for the top there just to make it look a bit nicer, but I don't want to block all of the portals because I like to be able to see them firing here. So you know, if anything's broken or if you need to go and fix a portal or something like that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn this on, and that's going to light all the portals and start the process. I'm also going to turn the volume down by quite a lot because this gets very, very loud. So as you can see, all of our pigment are starting to fall down. So now if we flip the trident killer on, that will start to kill all of our pigment, and we've got to make sure to turn our item collection on. Now you can tell that this is on if you've got your volume off, because you can see all the items going up there. And as you can see, there's just a megaton of pigmen coming down this tube, and it is insanely fast. Like I say, I don't think we need to go any faster than this. There's not really much point. They do literally just flood in here, and we can just sort of stand here AFK. Look at all the portals and everything, and it is just insane. So what I said earlier about separating all the redstone out a little bit with 3 different levers, I'll show you why as well. So if we turn the portal on and off, on the one at spawn, if we did that, the trident killer would actually turn off. And all of these zombie pigmen we would have to kill by hand. And we don't really want to do that. And the one at spawn, we've got this item collection on all the time. So we'll hear this clicking all the time. So we didn't really want that either, so we wanted the option to be able to silence this and completely turn this farm off. So that's what we've done here with these 3 levers. And as this is my own personal gold farm, we won't need to worry about swapping any tridents out or anything. As for the tridents inside this farm, they have Unbreaking 3, Mending 1 and Impaling 5. And there is a total of 8 tridents in there. And that seems to keep up with the farm, and it seems to keep it working nice and quickly, which is what I like. They don't seem to get backed up in here, they don't seem to build up too much, so it works out quite well for us. And obviously when we're done, we can just turn that off and turn this off to stop all the clicking. So what we can do now is we can turn our volume back up, and we can carry on with what we're going to be doing on today's episode. So hopefully you don't mind that I just whip this up off camera. We've already built one of these already in the server, obviously with a bit of a different collection system, but I think this is pretty much perfect now. So I've fine-tuned it to be you know, much more efficient than the one in spawn, just at the way they channel down all the pigmen. So I will actually be making a tutorial for that, so make sure you hit that subscribe button just so that you never miss out and you can get this tutorial and this farm built in your worlds. So with that being said, what we are going to do today is we are going to pick out a spot down here, and we are going to build ourselves a mob farm. Now this mob farm is going to be very easy to build. It requires no redstone whatsoever. That is right, no redstone whatsoever. So all we're going to need is some building blocks, some campfires and some bamboo. And I'm going to teach you how to build the easiest mob farm that you'll ever build in Minecraft. So bear with me guys, and I'll be back in a second. So with this mob farm guys, I have turned the volume off just so that this clicking and machine is not driving you lot crazy. But with this mob farm guys, we're going to need some bamboo. So obviously we're going to have to get some bamboo. So we're at our little bamboozler here. So all our furnaces are now filled up, so we're just going to run this for a few seconds here and hopefully get an absolute ton of bamboo. You can see it all building up there. And the reason we need bamboo is we are making use of a mechanic that is very interesting, and I'm not too sure if it works in Java as well. I need to do a little bit of testing on that, but seeing as we're on the Bedrock version, I've done some testing in a creative world, and we are going to need all this bamboo right here. So we'll get rid of the 8-bit that we don't really want. We want full stacks here. And then all we've got to do, we've got ourselves some lovely campfires. We've got 25 exactly. If you guys want to build along with this farm, there's 25 soul campfires there. And we're going to need a lot of scaffolding, this stuff right here, because the reason we're going to be using scaffolding is because scaffolding does not prevent mobs from spawning. So that means we can make a mob farm, which we're going to do today, that requires no redstone. We don't need to flush the mobs out. It's just going to be amazing guys. I've done some tests with this, and for how easy this is to build and the rewards you get from it, it's just a no-brainer to build this really. What we've also been doing off camera, this step is going to be optional, but we have a load of tinted glass. Now, if you don't want to use tinted glass, you can just put a roof over the farm instead. But because we want our area down below nice and lit up, we're going to want to have a lot of tinted glass available to us. So that is why we're going to use that sort of stuff there. Also, what we're going to be doing is we'll probably be getting a load of these stone bricks to build it out of. I think that's going to be alright because our other gold farm is built out of stone bricks. I would love to build it out of this deep slate stuff, but to be honest, it takes so long to actually collect any of that stuff. It hardly seems worth it, guys. And you know, it's a traditional mob farm. We've got to make it out of stone bricks. That's like the law of Minecraft. If you build a farm, you've got to build it out of stone bricks, I swear. So unless you're doing a tutorial, I suppose, and then it's obviously smooth stone. That is the goat of the tutorials. But we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna use some stone bricks, and we're gonna go straight down below and get into this build here. So again, we're gonna use our little drop chute, but we can fly, so we can fly about. Now the other thing I just want to show you guys as well quickly is we will be making a copper farm soon. So we have got a lovely zombie spawner here, so we can make a nice little copper farm. But not only do we have one zombie spawner, if we walk just down here a little bit, we have two zombie spawners. So I'm thinking we can make a nice little copper farm out of this dual spawner. I have checked and they are both able to be activated by a player. So I should be able to stand in sort of a center point and be close enough to activate that spawner and activate this spawner. So that is something coming in a future episode, guys. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. Also, as you can see, there's a lot of slimes spawning down here. Now, I know we've already got the big super slime farm at spawn, but this is sort of like the factory and the base of operations of our base here. And we actually, in this massive hole, we have a slime chunk, which is right here. Now, with this resource pack that I am using from foxynotail, so I will, if I remember, I'll try and put a link to it in the description, because it's a very useful resource pack, like for various different things. So you can actually cycle through the different things, and it will tell you all the different things you need to know. So these are the chords. It also tells me the nether chords of this spot here. And you can also do something like this. So you can actually load up the spawning sphere of where stuff's going to spawn in your world. So that's very handy to have as well. But also they've also got a chunk one. So he's in this chunk. And if you do that, you get multiple chunks. So you can sort of see, if you need to chunk align a farm, this is a lot easier because in Bedrock version we can't just press F3 and get all our chunk borders, so we have to use a resource pack like that. And obviously it's nice to have a little compass here so you know which way you're facing and which way for other stuff. But anyway, we're wasting time here. So the first thing we need to do is pick a spot for this farm to go. Now, originally I was thinking in this corner, but with the slime chunk there, I'm not too sure if we want to make a slime farm here in the future. So, as this is the only slime chunk in this hole, I don't really want to take up the space there. So, what we might actually do is probably just build it next to it. So, we'll build it around here somewhere. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is we're going to firstly put that down, and we're going to just find the center of our farm. So for us, we're going to need a 5 by 5, just like this, 5 by 5. So 5 this side, 5 this side, and 5 this side, all the way around. And this is actually going to be filled with campfires and hoppers. Now from this we need to go 7 blocks out, so I'm just put it here for now just to test that we've got enough room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that's actually perfect, but I think we're going to need to have to go sort of one more block out this way, just like this, and yeah, that should be good. That should be good. And the reason we do that is because we're going to need all of this is hopper space, right? So let me just show you what I mean. So if we place a block there like that, we might even go up one actually, just for ease. I mean, we've got enough space to work with, so it's not really going to be an issue. So we're going to need our redstone, and we're going to need a bunch of hoppers, 25 if you want to be exact with it here. And you've got to choose a side where you want all the stuff to come out of. So we're probably going to go, probably for us it doesn't really matter because we can just shoot them anywhere, but I'm probably going to aim all the hoppers this way. Get these slime off, they're so annoying to build around. So we're going to use 26 hoppers because we're just going to have one facing out the end there, and that's going to be helpful for us a bit later on. But then you want to just cover this 25 block area just like this. Oh, slime everywhere, annoying. So cover all of these up with hoppers. Not this one, my mistake. But all of these ones, cover them up with hoppers. Absolutely lovely. Just like that. Then what you can do, you can just delete this bottom row if you like. Get rid of all of this because we don't need that anymore. Now after that, what we want to do is we want to come back up here, and you want to place a ring around these hoppers. So just a nice little ring all the way around, just like so. And this is just going to contain the hoppers. You can cover that hopper as well. So we now have 25 hoppers in this space here. So now from each one of the corners you're going to want to go out by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to want to do that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't have enough to put the last block there. That's annoying. We'll get some more stone. Just make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then once we have done that step, all we're going to want to do now is cover that up because we don't want to get set on fire. And we're just going to bring this wall all the way and connect all of these corners up. And these slimes are really, really annoying. And I've just realised something, guys. My apologies. We're actually playing with no game sound. So let me maybe not turn it up that high because there's slimes everywhere. And these guys are just so bloody annoying. We might actually just make a farm just to kill slime just because they're annoying. But what we want to do is we want to connect all of these corners up together just like that and make one big square. And this is actually going to be our collection area for all of the mobs. So this is how we're going to funnel them onto them hoppers there. And this is going to work out very well. So if we just come around here. Not that far, that was way too far. I don't know what I was thinking doing that. But yeah, just build these all the way to here, just like that. Connect them all up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to fill all of this space in with blocks. And I'm going to do this bit off camera just to save time on the episode. So I will be back in one moment when this is all filled in. Okay guys, so we have our area lit up here. We can go ahead and put some torches down if we want, just to stop anything spawning up here. It probably still will, it's not the end of the world. We're pretty geared out, we can take it. So what I forgot to mention as well is this platform here actually needs to go down one block. So these hoppers right here need to be ripped out and just placed one block lower than they actually are. This is an error on my part, so I apologize for that. But all we can do is just... In fact, all these slimes, I'm telling you, are doing my tits in today. They just won't leave me alone. So again, we can just place in our hopper lines. Just like so. And then what I also recommend doing is we can get rid of that hopper there. Which is fine, all our stuff's there. What we then want to do is just run a ring around these hoppers here. So sorry about that if you were building along, but again, quick fix, all done, dusted, sorted. So now what we want to do is we want to get some more buckets, and we're going to use ice just because it's a little bit easier. But if you want to use buckets of water, then just make an infinite water source, because you're going to need a fair bit of water for this next step. So now as you can see, we got a 2 block sort of gap down here, and this is actually where all your campfires are going to go. So if we actually want to place the campfires now, we can do, but I recommend waiting a minute just for that. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put a perimeter around this. So 1 block high is fine. You can go more if you want, it's up to you. The only place you do have to go more is in the corners. So here you go up 1 just like that, and up 1 in the middle. So just like that. And this is just going to be for the water in a minute, just to help the water all flow into the center perfectly, and it's just going to stop any confusions. So again, block like that. You can get rid of that middle block. I'm just going to put a block there. And do this for every corner. So we're going to go round. Just like so. To every corner. Block. Just in the corner. Just like so. Some more blocks. And like I said, this is just going to help our water find its place in just a moment here. Oh, I fall down. I'm always falling down in this game. So we can do something like that, and again just run all of this down here. Now I'm probably going to build a couple of these farms, maybe another one next to it. I'm not too sure yet. We'll see how this one sort of does. But yeah, it's a little bit in the middle, and I think this will be fine. If I come over here and just get a sort of vantage point, that is what you sort of should be looking at so far. And you know, we could always place another one here if we wanted to, and we can always extend this room if need be as well. So this is what we're working with so far. Now this next step is going to be very important, especially if you're using water buckets. You've got to be careful with your placement. Ice not so much. If you've got silk touch, you can just pick it back up. So in every single one of these corners we're going to put a water source, or in our case an ice bucket or an ice block. Then in every corner you're going to miss this block and place ice all the way along. You can skip a block and go like this, and that will save you some resources. And again, skip a block, and we already have stuff spawning up here. Brilliant. So yeah, you can skip a block, that's absolutely fine. And some of the ice might melt, again, fine. Doesn't matter in the slightest, we're about to melt it all anyway. But just make sure you skip that block next to the corner. If you don't skip that block, you might mess it up and all the water might flow into your hoppers, which is not what you want. So then using a non-silk touch pick, we can come through here and it's going to get awfully dark. But we can just break every little bit of ice along here, just like so. And now if we come up, as you can see, all of our stuff is going to get pushed into this hole. And that is going to do us lovely. So that is now our collection area. Trying to give you guys a sort of overhead view. There you go. So this is our collection area now. This is where all the mobs are going to fall down and fall into our collection. Now you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to make our center block out of gold, just because, you know, I mean, we've got a gold farm and we've got so much of it, why not? I'm not going to build the whole thing out of gold though, because that'd just be silly. So we're going to take our gold blocks, and these are going to be our center block, and this is just going to help you guys to see what we are doing here. What I need to do as well is I need to get some of this junk out of our inventory, because we just don't need it. We don't need it anymore, guys. Okay, so we're going to get some building blocks, some of this, and we're also going to need our trusty ice again. Now this farm, I'm going to be building 10 layers. You don't have to build 10 layers, you can build as many layers as you want. I wouldn't go over 10 because it's kind of pointless. Standard mob farm stuff, 10 is probably the max, and then you have to build sort of another one up. But we're fine with that. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to fall down this hole, and we're going to pick the center block, which is right there. As you can see, it's 2 from every side, and we're going to go up. So now we're 1 above this layer. We want to go up and up 1 more. So we're just like this. So that is what, 5 blocks? Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 blocks above our water collection system. We're then going to go out 7 in every direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And do this for every side. And for now you can put a torch in the middle if you're worried about stuff spawning as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the last side here, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this one's a little bit different to our water collection system, so what we're going to have to do is start from here and miss the first block, and we're just going to be making a diamond shape. So all we want to do is just come down here and just make a diamond shape just like this, and you want to do that all the way around. So start from this block. Oops, breaking it already. Start from this block and just sort of work your way around until you meet in the middle. And I find that to be the easiest way to do it. But as long as your shape looks the same afterwards, it doesn't really matter how you achieve it. So this is just going to make a nice diamondy shape, which is going to be very nice for us, just like that. So for an aerial view, we've got our center block in the middle and a little diamond shape just like that. And this is our first spawning layer. So this is essentially done. Now, before we do the next step, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break that torch. You can place another one either side of it if you wish. And you want to go up by 3 blocks. And this is going to be your next level. So we're going to remove that. And again, 7 blocks out. And just rinse and repeat, just like that. So you're going to fill in the next layer of however many layers you want. But what I suggest doing while you're doing this, so once you've got this center block in and you've sort of got, you know, your 7 blocks in all directions, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once you've sort of done this, what we're going to do is actually put in our scaffolding and our water. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this guy can die because you're going to be making noise and just annoying me, so you can shush. So before we put our scaffolding and our water on our first layer, what we're going to want to do is we're going to jump down here, and in one of these shulker boxes, I believe we have our campfires. So we've got quite a lot of campfires here. So if we fly back over, so at the minute we've got no way of killing these guys, right? So we want to fix that, and how we're going to fix that is we're going to be placing our shulker box there, just that allows us to stand here. We can then actually break this block, and that will just give us a little bit easier access. And we're just going to be placing all our campfires on here. Now you don't have to use soul campfires, by all means you can use the normal regular ones. I'm not actually sure if these ones kill them any faster, couldn't tell you, but I'm using these ones. So these are the ones I used in creative when I was sort of testing this farm and sort of trialing it out. But this farm seems to work great, so I'm really happy we can build it together here today. And I did promise you guys in the last episode that I would sort of include more sort of buildy stuff, so that is what we're doing here. So as you can see, all of that fire is done, and they're all going to die in the fire, in the flames, and burn, and all of their drops are actually going to get spat out right here, as you can see there with all this stuff. Take our gold back, got all of this good stuff inside there already. Okay, so once we've put our campfires in and we've sort of started our second layer here, you want to break these torches. I'm going to leave one there just for now, just for your sake, just so you can see what's going on. But what you want to do is you want to cover this entire floor with scaffolding. Now it seems a bit crazy, but this is what's going to allow this farm to require no redstone whatsoever. Like we've essentially done the farm, guys. This is it. Like all we've got to do, put this scaffolding down, and it does take quite a lot. I will do a full-blown proper tutorial for this if you guys want to see it. But for now, if you're watching the Let's Play, you might be alright getting by with just this episode. So once all of that's done, as you can see, it is dark, so we can put a torch there just so you guys can see what's going on. And you've got our identifier block in the middle. Now, if you did put an identifier block, it's going to help you a lot. If not, just find the middle block of your farm. Very important that it's the middle block, else the water won't flow properly and it will mess up your water below. So what you want to do is you want to put an ice block on top of the middle scaffolding. break that ice, and does that not work? Okay, maybe you can't use ice for this step, but if we place water just like that, then, oh, I see where we've messed up already. So if you miss any scaffolding, it's not going to work, and your water is going to get completely messed up. So there you go, that's what we want. So when you place the water, it should look just like that. And the mobs will actually spawn on this level inside the scaffolding, and as soon as they spawn, they'll get pushed away, and they'll get pushed to the water stream below. And that's essentially our farm done, to be honest. Like, we've just got to build another 10 layers above that, and I will show you what all the tinted glass is for. Now that's going to help just keep it completely dark and submerged. But as you can see, that is what our farm's looking like. I'm going to place a torch down here just so you guys can see it a little bit better from up here. But that is what our farm is looking like. And with the power of editing, we are going to add another 9 layers to this. And yeah, we will be back in just a moment. So there you have it, guys. There is all 10 layers constructed, and we've also put a little roof on the top there as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get to the point where all that tinted glass we got is going to come in handy. So what I'm going to do to make things look a bit nice, as you can see, it's already working a treat. All the mobs are getting pushed in, even though they want to walk towards me, they're not going to be able to. And they might hang there for a little bit, but eventually they're going to fall in and get destroyed. So this creeper's proper fighting it, but as you can see, even though he's fighting it, he's still going to get knocked down in the end. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually make this so it's completely dark. So the darker this is, the more it's going to spawn things. And as you can see, we've put a torch up on the roof. Now one quick thing I forgot to mention earlier as well, we're using the soul campfires at the bottom because they give a light level of 10, whereas normal campfires give a light level of 15. So it just makes it as dark as possible. Obviously if we use lava as well, that gives off a light level of 15 as well. So we want it really to be as dark as possible. So it just makes everything spawn a lot easier and quicker. So that's just one thing to mention to you guys. Now if you guys aren't going to use tinted glass like me, this step that we're doing right now is pretty unnecessary, to be honest. So you won't need to worry about this, but we're just doing this for sort of aesthetics as well, to be honest. But yeah, so what you want to do if you don't use tinted glass is you're going to want to put a layer of blocks. You can use half slabs or solid blocks, it doesn't matter. Bearing in mind though, if you do use solid blocks, then you will have to spawn proof the top somehow, so you will have to either use buttons or something like that. I wouldn't recommend using glass unless you use tinted glass, because that's going to let light through, and really you want this farm to be as dark as possible. Now for the best rates of this farm, if you just want to build this as soon as you can with resources, the best place to build this farm is going to be above an ocean, high up in the sky, probably about 140 blocks above the sky will be fine. That's just going to stop anything being loaded in the caves below, and it's going to prevent you from having to do any spawn proofing, which is going to be quite beneficial to a lot of people that are building this farm. But for us, seeing as we are building it underground, we're going to have to get the best rates out of our farm, we're going to have to light up all the caves in the area and just make it so that if a mob is going to spawn, it's going to spawn in our mob farm and not in the caves around us. So that's a lot of stuff that I'll do off camera, going around and caving and stuff like that, because that's going to be something that just sort of gets done over time and sort of just trickles through. But as you saw already, this farm's already working, it's already working great. And we'll get to a storage room as well today and get all of our items filtered and sorted. We'll probably go for the same sort of design that we're using over at the gold farm, but again, we will get to that in this episode, so don't you worry. I'm not too sure where we're going to put all the chests and stuff yet. Haven't quite thought that far ahead, so we will get to that in just a minute. But basically, if you're not going to be using tinted glass like me, you're going to want to be putting a roof above this farm, and if you're not using tinted glass like me, you probably aren't going to want to use torches to spawn proof this roof, because it's actually going to affect the light level on that top layer there, as you can see. But basically, you want to have a roof big enough so that the farm is completely dark. So as you can see, we've got some torches and stuff on the side. I'm not too bothered about that because that is all going to change anyway. But yeah, so we want to make it completely dark and pitch black, and we need some more stone to do that. But essentially, how we're building ours, we're going to have glass or tinted glass around the outside of the farm. That way we can keep our area down below nice and lit up, but we don't have to worry about it affecting our mob farm. So that's going to be nice and dark still, and everything's going to work out nice, hopefully. That is the plan anyway. So we will jump back down here and carry on with this. So it is a nice and easy farm, and like I said, there's absolutely no redstone to this farm. This farm is technically completely done. Obviously what we're doing now is just to make sure that we keep it completely dark. So Okay guys, so as you can see, we have run out of glass. We have 7 pieces left, and we didn't actually get all the way to the top, so we got a fair bit of grinding to do to get some more of this glass. But you know, in the long run, I think it's going to be worth it. It's kind of a mad undertaking, but like I said, in the end guys, everything will be worth it. So as you can see with the dark glass, no light passes through it. Obviously we've got that back wall to clean up, so I'm going to go and do that now. But as you can see here as well, we are starting to get some lovely stuff right here for us, which is very nice to see. It's all working very nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up that back wall, and then we will get to making us a storage room for all of our goodies. So I will be back in just a second guys, and I will get to it. Okay guys, we are back and we are ready to rock and roll with this item collection system. We're going to be using the same sort of design that we're using here, because it's reliable and it works quite well, so that's what we're going to be using. So here what we're going to do is we are going to put our soul sand in now, and we are just going to sort of just do this, and I want that there, and we can just sort of build this up to around about there is good I think, and we're gonna actually fill in the corners. That just stops people being able to come along and steal the drops out of the thing, or if you're just looking at it, it's not gonna interrupt us too much. So then we're gonna want our packed ice, and we're also gonna want a couple of honey blocks, and we're also going to need some glass panes. Now, probably going to need some hoppers as well, wouldn't go amiss. Now, we've got a load of scaffolding left over, and as you can see, I've just done a little dropper clock here. Obviously, I've turned it off as of the moment. But yeah, this is starting to get quite backed up, so we're going to want to sort of sort this out, because we don't want all of this getting backed up. So, let's get into this. We want to go up here, and first of all, we can probably go ahead and put our normal ice in here. So what we want to do is just get a button, and this is going to stop the water from flowing backwards. Now, in all of these gaps here, we are going to put, where there's not bedrock, we are going to put some packed ice. And this is going to allow the items to just flow a little bit faster and get there a little bit quicker. So then what we can do is we can then put in our block of ice, break that, and of course it doesn't reach around the corner, which is always good, always what we want. So to stop this, we're going to just do that and place a water bucket there. So that is now any items that go in there are going to go down the water stream and end up over there. Cool. Now this block here not being ice might be a little bit of an issue actually. Yeah, so you see how it's stopping there. So what we're going to actually do instead is we're just going to move this. Well, we can't really do it like that. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to dig this one. And we're going to have to move this. If I can pick it up. I got so much junk on me. So we're going to put our soul sand block there instead. And then of course we're going to put our button there. and we can go ahead and destroy everything that we just did because we're an idiot. But this is just going to allow everything not to get clogged up, because we don't want items getting stuck in our system here. It's not what we want. So again, we're going to build up just like this all the way along and all the way up. Now we'll probably go to about here. Here's good, I think. So yeah, just like that. So once we're in here, we can get some ice, get that going, and we can just break the ice, and that'll shoot us up. Okay, brilliant. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put this block as ice, this block as ice, this block as ice, and just sort of go across. We're going to have to mine a little bit of space, and we need 5 blocks for the item filter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we can actually do here is get rid of these, and we're going to make a turn. Now the turn is just going to help us align the blocks, and we're going to come all the way down to here, and it's going to be quite a big amount of storage, which is what we want really. So once we've done that, we can go ahead and place our glass all along there, and a layer of glass in the front. Now this is going to stop any items from flowing out unnecessarily, and at the end here we'll put some sort of destruction thing for any of the items we don't want, so like rotten flesh and stuff, because we're already collecting that over there. Pointless collecting it here as well. That was a terrible shot, and again. So then what we're going to want to do here is we're going to get our 2 honey blocks again. And what are you doing? I think they spawn on this beacon actually. So we're going to get our 2 honey blocks, and we're going to stick them here and here. That is going to align all of our blocks, all of our drops and stuff against this honey block, which will then allow them to go into this hopper. So we're then going to go along here, and we're going to put hoppers all facing into the ice, just like this. And this is what's actually going to be collecting our items, and our item filters are going to be attached to these. So you're going to want to put glass panes all the way. You can use iron bars as well, but you're going to want these all the way along, and the reason we do this is so that the items are going to be aligned against this honey block. So they're going to be here, and they're just going to be on the edge of these hoppers, and so the hoppers will be able to pick them up, but the ice will be able to push them along. So it's quite a neat little trick. So then what you can do is you can break the water here, and then when it gets to this point, what you're going to want to do is get a few buttons on you, place a button, and then after the button place some more water, let that flow. I normally come 1 in because the water is a little bit stronger then, and the items will get pushed a bit faster, and you can just do it like that, and that seems to work swimmingly. So now we need to get into the item filters. So to do that, all we're going to need to do, if we look over here at these ones, ooh, if I can fly. So we actually need a comparator reading off that signal. So what we're going to need to do is basically just copy this design here and transfer it over to over there. So let's go do that. So again, fairly simple to do this. I'm sort of treating this as a bit of a tutorial as well, because I know a couple of people have asked me about item filters and stuff like that, and although they are very simple and stuff like that, if you obviously don't know how to build them, they can look quite daunting and complicated. So we're going to sort of stop that being an issue. So first thing you're going to want to do is have a row of blocks going down like this, and that is going to be where your comparator goes. So if we stick that there, if an item goes in here, it will turn the comparator on, and that's how you know you've got it in the right place. So then we can run along here and place in our comparators, and obviously we're going to be a little bit short, so I have to sort that out at the end. But then coming off these comparators, you need a block like this at this level, and you want to run that all the way along, and this is going to actually be what sort of helps lock and unlock the hoppers. So again, if you just come around here and do that, we're going to need a little bit of head height here, so let's go ahead and make that happen, just so that we don't bonk our head while we're doing this here, because it get quite frustrating otherwise. And gravel's a pain as always. Right, so now that we got that done, what you want to do then is you want to come and place a row of glass behind these blocks, and it's very important that this is glass, because if you use solid blocks it doesn't quite work the same, so I'd just recommend it being glass. Next, what you want to do is you want to come and place a row like this just underneath them blocks, so one diagonally down from the comparators. And you want to go ahead and get yourself some repeaters and some scaffolding just to climb up, make your life a little bit easier. And you want to place a repeater into every, you want to make sure it's facing the comparator block as well. You don't want it facing the wrong way. And again, we're a little bit short with the supplies, but that's fine. The ones that we don't do here on camera, I will finish up off camera. But yeah, so if I can just place that. Okay, so now we got all that done. What we then need to do is one more row of blocks, and these slime have been driving me crazy. They're always in the way. But right, so once we've done this, what you then want to do is put a line of blocks here, all the way along. Again, and we're running out of stuff left, right and center here. But yeah, all the way along, just like that. And this is essentially done. So all we need to do now is get our redstone torches and our redstone. We can make a few more of these. We want to come up here, and the first thing you want to do actually is come down below and put the torches all along the edge, just like so. That's going to be what powers the repeaters, which will lock the hoppers. Now after that, you're going to want to place in redstone all the way along here, just like this. And you don't have to do this many, this is expandable, you can have this as just one. But as you can see, these hoppers, the repeaters are all powered, and then as soon as this gets an item, the comparator goes on. When there's enough items in the hopper, this will unpower and let items through. So that's basically how this works. So then all you got to do now is just set up the filters. So we got some filter blocks here, and all we then need to do is get some string, some bones, some eyes, and just start collecting all the things that we want to collect. So with this farm, I think I'm going to be going for at least 3 of them for gunpowder. Yeah, maybe 4 for gunpowder, 4 for bones, because they're the really important stuff. So what we do is we put a line of filter blocks, and then we put some gunpowder in there, and it will take 41 of the items before it lets any through, so you will have to wait for these filters to fill up. But doing this, it will allow nothing else but gunpowder to go into these. And with these slimes, just cut me a break. Okay, so we will then carry on, and we will put some in for bones, because bones are also quite helpful to have. Again, we're going to do 4 for bones, I think, because we want all the bones in this farm. We want all of them, okay? And then I guess we can do 1 for spider's eyes. We can do 1 for string, because we've already got a string farm technically, so we don't really need that. And yeah, over here we probably gone a bit mad with the storage, so probably don't need to go this mad with it. But we'll collect the arrows, and maybe we do 1 for rotten flesh, just to have it. I know we've already got it over there, and we've got string over there as well, so yeah, so we'll do 1 for some arrows. We'll do 1 for some rotten flesh, and that should be good. Should all be good. Now, as you can see, nothing's coming out. I don't think we're going to need anything more. So we got 4 for gunpowder, 4 for bones, spider's eyes, string, arrows, rotten flesh, and nothing here. So what we can actually do with these ones is just go ahead and destroy them, because we're not going to use them. Went a bit overkill with this item sorters. I like to collect all the things, you see. And I mean, we could do 1 for like iron ingots and stuff like that, but the amount that the zombies that spawn in there will drop. It's really not going to be worth it. So that is essentially our item filters done. What we then need to do, any items that don't get sorted in this system need to sort of be disposed of, right? So how we're going to do that is we're going to take a button, and we are just going to place it, we'll place it here, that's fine. And then we're just going to need this spot right here. So we're going to have to come down 1 block. You don't have to do this, but I just prefer to come down a block, over 1 block, just like that. And you're going to need to place a sort of like wall on it like that. And then the last ingredient we are going to need is a lava bucket, and I'm not sure if we even have a lava bucket. We do not, so I will go get one of them in just a second to put up here. But basically all we're going to have is lava at the end here, so anything that sort of goes in lava, anything that doesn't go in our filters, sorry, will go in lava. There you go, I can't speak. And you can also cap that off, just so that you don't fall in ever, and you've got no chance of falling in. So that is essentially it, done, complete, finished. all we have to do now is just replace this one bit of redstone down here, and that's going to activate the farm, and just, yeah, it's going to be nuts. So this is just going to flow out all the items, so it's going to have a load of building blocks and stuff in it at the minute, which is fine, it doesn't really matter. And again, you want to just cover this up. Again, if you don't want to pick anything up through the corners, just make sure you fill them corners in. So we'll do that just like this. And we run out of glass, so we'll finish that off. Camera. So yeah, you might be thinking, right, so how do we connect these to our chests? And these slimes are actually doing my tits in. So to connect these to chests, what you're going to want to do is you're going to come around here. We're going to get rid of this top chest, just because you won't be able to open it because of the ice, so we want it lower. And you want to just place chests all the way along until you've got to the end of your filters, and you can just place them all the way down to the floor or to whatever level you desire. So I think we're going to leave it sort of at 3, just because we don't really need any more than that. And I've got so much crap on my inventory again, so let's just get rid of all of that for now. Put all of our redstoney bits away. Hoppers we can't though, because we are going to be needing them, and we're going to be needing our crafting table, and we're just going to need to craft up a load of chests just like this. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to go any more than this, because this is quite a lot of storage still. And I'm going to use my shovel to break a wooden item, because it seems like a smart thing to do. Okay, just like that. Now it's time for the hoppers. So you're going to put a hopper into the back of every single one of these chests. And obviously the bigger your storage room is, the bigger, obviously, the more hoppers and stuff you're gonna need. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm going delirious. But yeah, so when all of your hoppers are onto your chest, you'll probably still notice that nothing is coming through to your chest, because you need one more line of hoppers. So you can do that by getting up here and just placing hoppers facing downwards into these hoppers. And like I said, you could put some chests on the top here, and you could even extend them out a bit with hoppers. But like I said, this is the way I do it, and it seems to be kind of reliable, so I'm not too bothered about that. And now if you look inside these chests, you will see we are starting to get all of our stuff coming through just like that. So like I said as well, just one last quick thing with these item filters is it's always going to have 41 items in the chest. Okay, so it's always going to have 41. So like this one, so these won't actually go through to the chest anymore until they fill up to 41. So if you're not getting any items through straight away and you see them going up your system, don't worry about that. That's just purely because of how these item filters work. They have to hold 40 items of their own. Now I'm just going to block this off as well at the top, and that's just going to stop all the items from bouncing up over the place and make sure they're going to get all nice and aligned along here. So yeah, that's essentially our mob farm done. Obviously I will tidy it up and pretty it up off camera, but now our basement is looking very nice and industrial. So there's a quick one more thing we're going to do on this episode, because this episode has dragged on quite a bit. It's going to be quite a long one. So sorry about that, but it is sort of doubling up as kind of a little tutorial on that system there, that mob farm we built today. But what we're going to actually do here is we're going to just take a quick little trip to the shopping district, and we're going to actually just check out our shop, because I've heard I've had a few sales and I want to go and get our diamonds and goodies. I'm not too sure if I've cleared it out off camera. I don't think I have. But what we're also going to do is just pick us up a cheeky bucket of lava from this desert here. As you can see, it's not the first time I've done that. It's been raided a fair bit. And it's quite handy not having to go to the nether to get a bucket of lava. So if we carry on flying this direction, eventually we will get to the shops. But our shop is a little bit special because we have a prime location here in the center of the village. So if you didn't see on a live stream, I sort of tidied this up a bit. So we now are selling candles in here, which don't seem to be selling. But we'll leave them there. You never know, they might sell in the future. So duration, freeze, not sold there, not sold there, not sold any here. Wings for sale. Aha! So we've sold 2 wings to give us 40 diamonds. So not only did we make a super good mob farm that requires no redstone, we actually have 40 diamonds to add to our goodies. So we now have over 3 stacks of diamonds, guys. So we're really raking it in now. Really feeling the richness. But that is, I think, going to do it for this episode. I don't think there's anything else I really need to show you. Apart from being the big elephant in the room, which you're about to see rendering now, is I built a tower. So it's not finished yet, obviously. I'm sort of waiting to do that on like a live stream or the next video or something like that. So I don't want to get too carried away with it, but I've sort of got the main sort of idea of a tower and just sort of playing around with it with the different gradients of colours there, so it's sort of like shading, and I think that looks really nice. And altogether this base is just coming along very nicely. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.